been born. Here's our first friends, Ralph and Sachi Ichikawa. That was a still photograph, and Sharon moved just slightly, or I moved the camera, and that's why she was blurry. Everybody was a little bit tense. Here's Buzzer, was their dog, and Ralph on the left there, painted in oils and forever immortalized, Buzzer the dog. This is Al Reynes. He was a chief warrant officer. He went out to Guam, and even back then we were playing Scrabble, it looks like. Here's Pam, and much the same as all the little kitties. I like to play with them, and they seem to enjoy it also. Here's where we had our $250 worth of furniture, kitchen table, 4 chairs, and a bedroom set. There's Buzzer and his oil painting. And here I am eating carrots out on a park out on Long Island with the other first lieutenants, second lieutenants. Here's a trip to Washington, D.C. we made from Long Island, and that made a nice picture. Here's a house that they built as a demonstration model and brought it all around the country, and when they displayed it in Russia, the Russians couldn't believe that this was an average American house, and it was just a simple ranch, 1 level, very small, 2-bedroom. We bought a house in Oklahoma not long after that for $17,500, which was much more of a house than this one was. Here was the bedroom in the model. And of course Pam didn't want to be there anymore. She wanted to have her lunch, I think. There's the 2 Snoop sisters having a little libation and enjoying it. I think this was 4 generations. Appears to be a little blurry. Let me go adjust it. There we go. And here's 4 generations on the other side. That's Grandma Barrett there on the left. And here's Grandma Blomberg, Grandma Barrett, and a couple of Sharon's aunts. Here's my dad, my mom, my brother, my wife, my daughter, and I don't know who the guy on the right is. And here's a family which lived out on Woodtick Farm. And here's the kids, and the wife, and the child. I think that was the first one, first grandchild, I'm not sure. And here's the 2 friends. They were friends before I even met Sharon. Not meaning Pam, of course. And here we are. Here we're back on Long Island. Pam's a little older. You got cute little ribbons in her hair. Here I are. Don't know if that's... that might be an Oklahoma picture, I'm not sure. Here's the Ford I had. We drove back to Michigan one time, and that was a picture of Lake Michigan, I believe. as we were driving back. Here's a train out on Long Island they had on display as an old model. And here's a tourist trap we stopped at driving across the country. And we used to kid Sharon about this picture, but she didn't find any humor in it, so we stopped. Here's a mystery spot where they built the house parallel to the side of the hill, so when you went in there you had to stand straight up, but the house didn't. And there's the gift shop. Here's beautiful Higgins Lake, and Sharon was cleaning out the sour milk out of the bottles with nice clean sand. I doubt if that lake is so clean anymore. Here we are in Canada, or crossing over into Canada from Detroit, and we usually zipped across over to Buffalo, New York from Detroit as a shortcut. And this is the Southern Plantation, which Sharon owned in her... No, I'm kidding. Doesn't she look like a lady of the South there on her walkway? And here I am with the kids running around again. These are the neighbors' kids. And here I am exhausted after driving so much, what, 1,300 and some miles. This is out on that park out on Long Island again. That's Ralph Ichikawa there, and that's our buggy. That fell apart not too long after that. And here we are. I don't know what party this is. It may have been my birthday. I do not know. Or it might have been New Year's Eve. I'm not sure. Those are the Millers in the middle, and the Ichikawas on the left. And tennis was a big part of my life for a while. And here I am out on Ithaca, New York. This is the Bob Greenhouse where Jimmy drew the pencil line all the way around it. And this is back in Ironwood where Harold Lund took this picture. And this one too. Here we are out on Black River Harbor. This is one of the last times my dad felt good enough to really motor around. He died of cancer the next year, or shortly thereafter. And that's Dickie Blomberg, Sharon's brother. And I believe that's Jimmy there in the that I'm holding. And yes, there he is. We call this picture the Schmo shot. And there Sharon is entertaining the baby along with Dick. And there Pam is entertaining Jimmy. I do not know which little runt that one is. I believe that's Jimmy, but I could be wrong. That one looks like Pam. Here I am golfing. I took up golf when I was 21 years old. Perfect form. This is Sharon in front of the Indian Head Chalet. We had our little Renault Dauphine that got over 40 miles to the gallon. This was the early 60s. Well, no, yeah, it might have been right around 1960. Things have really changed. This, I believe, is Rushmore Cave, and we tried to take some pictures inside the cave. Here we are out on King Ferry in upstate New York. We rented this old farmhouse from the farmer who had built a new house about a mile down the road. What a creaky old building that was. Rattled, creaked. Scary. This was Niagara Falls, and it was kind of cool and breezy and wet. So you can see Sharon is shivering. Here's Sharon doing her thing with the hula hoop, and Jimmy and Pam are watching. And here they are exercising, doing their aerobics. This is Jackie. Norm and Jackie were our friends. We drove down to Juarez, Mexico from White Sands Missile grounds in by Artesia, New Mexico. That's a little Renault. So we stopped at White Sands and investigated what things looked like there. Well, that might have been Sharon back there, I couldn't tell. Here we are at the Grand Canyon. So we traveled quite a bit when we were younger. And that's the end of that. These are a series of military pictures when we were in the Air Force. This is some aircraft out on Mitchell Air Force Base out on Long Island. Here are some of the airmen playing horseshoes in the horseshoe pits we built back there. This is a training tower that we built for training the airmen and installing navigates, just as this one is. Out in New Jersey we installed this for landing aircraft. This is, I believe, a F-80 or a T-33 training jet. This, I think, is an F-102 with a parachute coming out the back, although you can't see it too well. This is an aerial view of the East Coast. And we were flying in Air Force planes along the East Coast, and this is one of the pictures out the side window. Here's another aerial view, and you can see the shine off of the aircraft window. This is a shot at Cape Canaveral, and that's a Titan missile plus a, I believe it's an Atlas or a Thor missile right beyond it. These were the missiles that were no longer in use. This is a Beaumark. I think it was had ramjet engines or that variety. It was obsolete by the late 50s. This is Augie Kapanicki, and he was a fairly good-looking guy in his Air Force uniform. And I wish I had looked like that. However, I've got farmer tan there. And here's an aircraft coming out of the LA airport. I was surprised by the noise as I was walking along the street, and here comes an aircraft almost landing on my head. Here's an aircraft that I believe either the president or his staff used. And we were right on the flight line while they were fooling with it. Here's a thunderstorm, and you can see the sharp division between the clouds and the rain. Here's a view of the hills coming into Salt Lake City, Utah. You can see how the wind has not allowed the trees to grow along the ridge lines. And there's a finger out into Salt Lake City where they harvest salt from the lake. This is a Titan missile display in Rapid City, South Dakota, doing a little public relations work for the Air Force. Now this is the Titan missile itself, standing straight up. It was about 100 feet up in the air from tip to tip. Here's some more Cape Canaveral. There's the Titan missile display and I believe it was a Thor. Could have been an Atlas. Here we are at Puerto Rico. I don't know if you can read the sign, but it says no swimming or wading. Sharks, barracudas, and manta rays infest these waters. Oh, it was beautiful. This was the Officers Club beach. It was just enormously pleasant. They painted the bottom of the palm trees to keep out insects and diseases and stuff like that. This is a view from the top of the cliff. There's a 200-foot cliff there. That's why we were installing a radar, a ground-controlled approach radar, so that the planes wouldn't crash into that cliff. This is looking down from the Officers Club onto the Officers Club beach, so it was pretty plush Air Force base, for officers at least. Now we're looking at about 3 zillion crabs down there. You'd have to look very closely to see all the crabs, but they were just alive with crabs on the shore. And I always ask people to guess who that is and if it's a native or not, but it's actually an airman second class who was out there fishing along the shoreline with us. There's a view from the beach looking up the cliff, and that's the Officers Club overhanging the area. And there it is again from a different view, more in the daylight. And here we are out into the local area. They had a bar, can't even recall what they called the bar at that time, but they had a special name for it. And there were local Puerto Ricans there. And of course, as it got harder to take pictures because the subjects kept getting blurrier and blurrier as we were and this was the sunset on the beach as we ended our trip to Puerto Rico.
We're on. Pretty.
It's one of those bays.
Oh yeah,
Alligator,
carport.
alligator bays.
The alligators are calling.
This was our Oklahoma City house before I started working on
A lot of new, huh?
Yeah.
The 2 little Volkswagens. Are they green and white?
I don't think that was mine. No, that was I can't remember the last name. That was Jackie or I sold it. So here's our upstate New York house by Ithaca.
Did you know what those Volkswagens were designed by the same guy who had pretty much invented television?
No.
That's all special on the guy. Where is this?
That's a Ronaldo feed.
Oh, that's the Renault. You have that after the Volkswagens?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that right?
Let's see. No, wait, see, no, I think I got it after that. Yeah, I cracked the Renault up. And then when we moved from Pennsylvania to Oklahoma, I got that station on it. Kind of a nice station. Oklahoma City House from across the street. They were close together there. That's the development. There are no trees. Oklahoma had so much area. That slides in backwards. The garage is actually on the left. Let's see, that doesn't look like a house. Oh, another one that's crooked. That's in Fred's. Oh, totally upside down. That cherry tree took me the longest time to chop by hand with an axe. And you can see there's no lawn here either. Pennsylvania house. See the dead cherry tree?
Yeah.
Fred's house up in Marion. These are not arranged very well either. So that's all I have to do is I'll have to see which ones. I'll have a better idea. And then I probably only want one shot
Yeah.
of each house, which one's the best one. Oh, that's Happy Dog. That's Ray Miller's. Labrador Ring Retriever. There I am adding a garage on by hand again. They had already poured the slab there, but they only had to put one. Oh, that's right. No, I had that slab. That's right.
It's going backwards.
Yeah.
Getting less and less.
The most dangerous part was putting that beam up there, and nobody would go up there and do it, so I crawled up there, this beam right here.
Yeah.
I crawled up there and was holding onto one of these rafters with one leg, and hammering it in. Didn't have any ladders long enough. This is our backyard here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there was a shed out there that had ponies in it before, so I made it into a duck and chicken area. Kids used to love, boy, these are all, there's the old barn. I think I was turning the shed down. Oh, this is a winter scene. This would be really nice. We could block that rat side out. Oh, that old tree. There's a big old tree there. And we get covered with ice. And it just looks like somebody had painted it with ice. There it is, looking from the golf course down on the house.
Wow. This is a dirt road.
Yeah, dirt road, gravel road. There it is again. There's a better shot. Look at, there's no trees back there in the hacks.
Backwards.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
Right to left. No cottonwood. Look at the cottonwood there. See it?
Yeah. Man.
Oh, now it comes thundering down. I think that's backwards too.
She'll take a picture from the same spot.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could choose. Now they could choose. Was there a tape in there about, this is not the slides I thought they were. There wasn't a tape in there about me doing ditches out in the back.
No.
I gotta find that one. I think I know where it's at. It's got a funny label on it. I should have labeled it a lot better. That's backwards too. Just looking up at the Jojo. Oh, that's even nicer. All colored. Oh, I had a picture of the dog. Debbie's muffin up there. That was a nice picture too.
Boy, there's nothing back there.
This is Fred's place. It's just tearing apart now, way in the back. The old farmstead. That was his addition he put on there. Oh, I think this is Judy and Dave's house in Monaco, Wisconsin. Boy, here's our ducks again. Except I don't. Oh yeah, that's when the shed was still up. Oh, and that's one of them old swimming pools
Yeah?
with the liner on it. I let the ducks play in there.
Cool.
I loved it. There's that Plymouth Fury again.
Ooh, boy, that'd be a neat car to have now. But it had a big engine in it.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but it was humongous. Man killing. In fact, I can that's the one that Jimmy clipped off the telephone pole with. The old sheep. Pretty bare looking, huh?
Yeah.
It's that tree we cut down, I think.
Huh.
Oh no, maybe this is backwards. Maybe that's a cottonwood again.
It's a cottonwood?
Yeah.
That,
That's the wolves. That's in
wolves.
backwards again. We don't have any trees around their place either. Oh, that's the first time I dug that thing up.
oh, the septic system?
Yeah. Didn't know what I was doing then, but I tried it. There's a solar panel experiment.
How'd that work out?
Yeah, pretty terrible. The compressors couldn't handle it.
Compressors?
Yeah, you know, like in a freon system, the reason you get coolness is you compress it and then release it.
Release it.
Well, their compressors couldn't work at that level.
Oh.
I don't know what that is. What's that? Oh, it's a sheep. I think that's something else. Oh, no. I think that's it.
Yep.